Hi, my name is Christo and I am the game designer of ThreeTale. We decided to make a Q&A to answer some of your questions about the game. So let's get started. So the first question was how is ThreeTale different? Um, as Alex from Board Game Co said, our game is really different from other adventure games, and as you may know, ThreeTale is advertised as three-player cooperative adventure game. So maybe the three thing is a little bit odd at first, but all the other things are quite standard because there are a lot of games in recent days that are cooperative adventure games. So what is the difference in our game? It is different because we wanted to make a replayable adventure game. And how is this made? It's made by not having a campaign that you need to follow, like most of the adventure games, but we have scenarios that can be played multiple times because some of the conditions and map and players change, so it makes it a really different experience every time you play it, even though you can play a single scenario like a few times, and it can feel different again when you are using different characters and the map building. So the idea of the game is to separate it in four stages. You have prophecy phase, in which players see three outcomes of the future that they need to prepare, and you see which of those prophecy will be fulfilled at the present phase. So in this stage you actually choose your heroes, you draft your heroes, and you decide your strategy for fulfillment for fulfilling most of the check boxes that they are on the scenarios. So that is the idea of the prophecy phase, and you have three, not just one, because we don't want it to make it difficult. We wanted to make it more replayable, because when you don't know actually what you're playing against, you need to somehow manage to develop more things, and then at the end you see what actually you will be playing, and yeah, you have more diversity there. So the pass phase. The pass phase is maybe what from the from the playtesting that we had, which was a lot. Most of the people really enjoy the pass phase because it's some sort of a boosting stage where people develop their map, develop their characters, and you actually see how you become a hero, and you become very powerful, and you're able to do more battles, to make more actions, to give to other players virtues, because those are our stats. Um, and yeah, it's really satisfying. People love that part, and you can even argue that the past is actually a different game, and this is some sort of an idea we had, because the past phase, you can just uh, end the game there and see how well you develop your character, and just count your stats, and this will be a whole different game. But we decided not to end the game there, because we actually want you to use your character in order to fulfill a certain task, and yeah, so the future phase comes, and this is the the other part of the game, which feels more of a adventure game, because you have those scenarios, and the past feels like more of a some sort of a builder, tableau builder. But yeah, before the future comes, there is this present phase where you actually see what prophecy will be fulfilled, and you have the opportunity to make to choose who will be the first player again, and this is actually very impactful as well. And then comes the future, where you get one of those boxes, see what's inside, and put those things aside you with the new tokens, and get rid of all of the tokens on the map you have already created, in which on which you will be playing your new adventure. And here in the prototype you see 5 characters, you see 5 boxes. I really hope to the end of the campaign that we will unlock all 7 final quests, as well as the tutorial, which is already unlocked actually. And all 7 characters, because they really feel different in my opinion, because they have different talents, asymmetric talents, which have their unique role in a way. Some of them are more fighters, some of them are more mobility heroes, some of them are more supporting, and they have their advantages and disadvantages. So when you're picking your team, you really need to know what you're doing, and the game is hard. I mean, we even introduced some difficult levels, because when we saw the playtesting and some comments, we saw that people feel a little bit frustrated in the future, because the game is hard and sometimes, well, most of the times they lose the game. But this is actually a game where the more you play it, you become better in it, and you feel that you become better in it, and you understand why are those things there, because we have worked on this game for 3 years, and we are pretty sure that people who play it more enjoy it even more. It's not like a one-time game. So yeah, this question was quite long. Sorry for that, but I will keep it more straightforward. Is the game replayable? Yeah, as we said, the past phase is makes the game really different. The whole map is every time different, and so all of the end game scenarios feel different because the map is different, and this makes it diverse. Also, the heroes can be drafted and make the game even more different. And I also didn't mention that you can also buy the expansion of the game, which will introduce 3 more heroes and 3 more final quests. So you have 10 scenarios and 10 heroes. I really think it's a replayable game. Yeah, even if you only play those scenarios once, I think you'll be very satisfied with the difference, because we took our time to make those final quests really different. It's not like you just defeat this boss and all of the scenarios are like this. You have to gather rings and put them on this altar. Sometimes you have to survive and fight yourself, because you need to defeat your inner enemy 3 times actually, and then go to this throne. Sometimes there are some seeds that need to be planted near this tree that it's evil, and it's not a boss fight, but it's some sort of a survival. So yeah, I really think that even though the game is easy to just understand, and you can bring it to the table with really casual gamers, it really is a puzzle that needs to be solved, and it's not easy to do so. And yeah, I think you will love it. So yeah, why 3 players, and is there a solo mode? Yeah, as you see, it's a ThreeTale. So the main idea when we developed the game was to be a 3-player experience. So every time you need to have 3 characters. You can play the game with 2 players, but one of them should control 2 players, 2 characters. And if you play it so, you control all 3 characters. And here's the interesting part, because during our testing and our feedback, we understand that it's a super smooth experience for solo players, and even though you have to control 3 players, you really feel that you're solving a puzzle, and it's not like something bad. It's quite interesting. So m- even some people say that they prefer to play it solo than in 3 players. So that's why we introduce the game as 1 and 3 player game. You can be playing it with 2, but it's that in this awkward spot that we don't want to false advertise you. That's why we didn't put it on the box. But you can do that. So yeah, also we have hosted here in our country a tournament in order to play test it, and 5 teams participated. There were 15 players fighting against each other as teams, and it was very interesting because from those 5 teams, 3 did not manage to win the game. Two players actually won the game, and one of those teams actually really crushed the game because they had found one of the hidden combos in a way that is sometimes possible when you choose the right heroes and you have the right approach to the end game scenario. And so this game is kind of made for this to be able to have tournaments as well. It's a tournament game. Yeah, it's quite crazy because it's a cooperative game, but it's a tournament game. But yeah, that was our concept. We wanted to make a game that it feels like more like volleyball, where the the teams are on one side, and you're fighting against each other, but it's not like you have direct contact with the other team. But unlike in volleyball, when there are 2 teams against each other, in this you can scale it infinitively. You can be even playing it a physical copy, and the other team is playing a digital copy, which we have in Tabletopia in the catalog, and in um, Tabletop Simulator as well. So you can try that out. So yeah, it's a tournament game as well. So if you are looking for those kind of experience, and because you also progress skill wise, you have some game knowledge, which it's not like hidden information, but it's like, you know, those games when you play very you play a lot, and in the end you just feel like you're better in it. It's like you're a pro of it. So yeah, that's that kind of a game. Yeah, so this was for this question. We had a really cool question about how does sun and moon model work, because we have a model, we have a character that is actually brother and sister, which fights against the other, yeah. And this character, it's cool because you can unlock a talent which gives you the opportunity to split and take actions with both of the characters. And I will show you how this model works, because there is a base here, and you can just pop that out, this base, which is like a basic base, and those are the 2 characters. I don't know if you see them. Yes, and you can just place them on the map, and at the end of the turn, whenever they are, because they're a brother and sister and they always find a way to get back together. And so you have to go back, and if you like, you can as well put them in the base, or you just can just place them there separately. This is a prototype, so yeah, it's a little bit more difficult, but yes, this is how they are put on one base again, and you can even control them again as a single hero. So that's on that question. All characters are very different from one another, and this one even has a different kind of a model, so most people like that. one, and also some very like this silver deer because it has such cool wings, and yeah, it's very majestic. My favorite hero is not here. It's the bread hero, as I like to call it. It's a bread character which doesn't have stats at the beginning except speed because it's not a true hero. But when it develops his last talent, he becomes a hero, and you actually can choose from the other player boards a new hero and develop two of his talents. So yeah, it's a different kind of hero. Yeah. And the last question is actually about those stats. Why are stats virtues in this game? It's a very good question because as you see, it's not like D&D or most games that have I think well understand statistics. In our game we have virtues because we want our heroes to feel really like true heroes, to feel like they are mighty, and in a way that they're not just fighting, they're helping each other. They have what a true hero has to have inside him, in a way. And so there are virtues. We have different six virtues. We have love, hope, faith, endurance, mercy, and I'm not sure how is it called in English, the last one, but never mind that. Not really good at English. They have their different role, and when you evolve them to a certain tier, they give you some additional new abilities. And the most interesting and the one that all people are commenting is the one which is called love, because in our game the love is actually the virtue with which our heroes fight. And the reason why this is because we think that actually heroes only true heroes only fight for the things they love. So when you love something, you're more willing to actually fight for. And so yeah, this is the main idea behind it. And I now have thought about a question that we didn't write down, but it was about the artifacts, because people wanted to know why are they important and what role do they have for this game, because when you see our Kickstarter page, all of our social goals are actually artifacts, and we're just adding artifacts and artifacts and artifacts. And artifacts are maybe the most interesting things to have on your character, as well as the talents, of course, which are asymmetric, because these artifacts also give you a certain ability or boost, in a way, with which you become different. And you can use those artifacts in a few ways. You can use them on your slots for head, for hands, and for feet. And the artifacts are also 3 level. Everything is 3. This is a game where everything is 3. And you can also use your artifacts to sacrifice them on altar. And when you do that, you can get more Shevica to unlock your talents. And also you can trade them for different tiers of artifacts. For instance, 2 artifacts of level 1 can be 1 artifact of level 2, 2 of 2, 1 of 3, and 2 of 3 a sacred stone, which is actually a very powerful object, which has its different impact in every endgame scenario, and will really really help you along the way. So yeah, I think this is for now, and if there is more interest in the game and people have more questions, maybe we can do this again. It's quite it's pleasant. Yeah. So thank you for your time. We will link our Kickstarter campaign below, and also the tabletop simulator version and Tabletopia, so you can try the game yourself and see if it's the game for you. Thank you for your time. Bye.